Welcome back to the Professor Insight podcast, the space where we explore the intersection of artificial intelligence, neuroscience, and emerging technology, and turn it into something practical for your business, your strategy, and your everyday thinking. I'm your host, Professor Billy, and I'm really glad you're tuning in today. Before we jump in, a quick note as always, this podcast is fully powered by AI tools, from content creation and scripting to voice generation. Of course, everything is manually curated and guided by myself. Now, in today's episode, we're diving into something a little different but incredibly timely: how generative AI is reshaping the way we search for information, products, and services online. This is one of those areas where the change is happening quickly, almost too quickly for the traditional models to keep up. And why is this important? Well, because according to Statista, global search advertising spending is projected to reach over $306 billion in 2024, making it the largest digital ad segment worldwide. If you've been following the news, you might have heard that OpenAI recently added shopping features to ChatGPT in the US, giving users a more streamlined, intelligent shopping experience. That might sound like a small update, but it's part of a much bigger story. AI is fundamentally shifting how we search online, and in the long run, that could completely transform how businesses connect with customers, how content is found, and how ad dollars are spent. Despite all the buzz around generative AI tools and AI-powered search, platforms like Google and YouTube still dominate the landscape. But things are beginning to shift. According to the latest research from Algolia, Basis Technologies, Statista, and others, traditional search engines are already seeing declines in organic traffic, while generative AI tools like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Perplexity are becoming more prominent, especially among younger users and more tech-savvy demographics. Today's episode is built around insights from Algolia's report, How Generative AI Affects Search, a full-stack story, as well as supporting research from Basis Technologies and Thomson Reuters. Together, these reports offer a big-picture view of what's happening across the digital stack, from user behavior and ad spending to content creation and AI optimization. So in this episode, we'll take a look at the long-term implications. How is AI changing the way people search, and how fast is that change happening? What does it mean for marketers, e-commerce teams, and content creators who rely on traditional search engine optimization and search engine marketing? What strategies should business leaders and search professionals be considering now to prepare for what's coming next? Let's get into it.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something, well, pretty huge that's changing fast. How artificial intelligence is impacting the way we all search online. And look, this isn't just some, tech gadget news. It feels like a really fundamental shift in finding information, and that hits businesses directly right now.
Absolutely. It's a big change. We've been so used to just typing keywords, haven't we, for years?
Yeah, exactly. Miami beachfront hotel. Simple.
Right. But now AI is pushing us towards, more natural language.
Yeah.
Asking questions, basically.
So, instead of keywords, you'd ask.
You might ask, can you find me a hotel right on the beach in Miami that actually has rooms available on May 23rd? It's more conversational. Plus, think about voice search growing too.
Okay, that makes sense. But I can hear people listening, especially business owners, thinking, all right, AI, search, got it, but why is this my problem today?
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is. So that's what we're going to unpack. We'll get into the real, tangible ways this AI search evolution is already affecting businesses and, crucially, what you can actually do about it.
Okay, so where do we start? Well, we're already seeing some early signs, some fragmentation in the search market.
Fragmentation? You mean it's not just one big player anymore?
Well, the main player is still dominant, hugely dominant, but their market share actually dipped below 90% recently. First time since about 2015, I think.
Wow. Okay. So who's picking up that share? Old rivals or?
Some familiar competitors, yes, but also, importantly, these new AI search agents are entering the picture. It's becoming a more diverse landscape.
And there are forecasts about this, right? I think I saw something about traditional search volume potentially dropping quite a bit.
Yes, Gartner predicts something like a 25% decline in traditional search engine volume by 2026.
25%, that's significant.
It is. And the thinking is that these chatbot-style applications will siphon off some of that activity. There's even a projection that ChatGPT alone might grab, say, 1% of the search market this year.
Okay, 1% might sound small, but in the context of the entire search market, that's actually quite a chunk.
It represents a real shift.
Yeah.
And this directly impacts something critical for so many businesses: organic traffic.
The traffic you don't pay directly for, the clicks from regular search results.
Exactly.
Hmm.
And the rise of these AI overviews, the AI-generated summaries that sometimes appear right at the top of search results.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Well, predictions suggest they could cause up to a 60% decrease in organic traffic flowing from those searches.
60%. Hold on, that seems incredibly high. Is that a definite thing or a prediction?
It's a prediction, a potential upper limit perhaps, but studies are already showing a tangible impact. One study from, I think, April 2024 found the click-through rate on results pages with AI overviews was already 34.5% lower on average.
Okay, so even if it's not 60%, a third lower click-through rate is still a massive deal for businesses relying on that traffic.
A huge deal. And businesses are noticing. It's not just theory. There's actually a lawsuit, Chegg, filed against Google.
The education tech company.
That's right. They're claiming these AI overviews are hurting their traffic, their revenue. So the anxiety is real.
So if organic traffic from traditional search might decline significantly, where does that leave advertisers? Does it push them elsewhere?
It certainly could. If the return on investment from traditional search ads diminishes because fewer people are clicking through or the nature of search changes, then yes, advertisers might logically look harder at other channels.
Like programmatic display ads or video, maybe?
Potentially programmatic, video, social media advertising, other performance marketing channels. It could force a diversification of ad spend.
So the big implication here, the first major takeaway for any business listening, if organic search has been your bread and butter,
You need to be acutely aware this is changing. Seriously, start thinking about, and probably acting on, diversifying how you reach customers online. Don't put all your eggs in that one basket anymore.
okay. So beyond the changes in traditional search, what about these AI platforms themselves? Are people actually using them directly for search?
Yes, definitely. That's the other side of the coin. They're becoming primary search tools for a growing segment of the population.
Really? Like instead of going to Google or Bing, they go straight to ChatGPT or Gemini.
Exactly. There was a statistic for 2023, I believe, showing 13 million U.S. adults already use generative AI as their primary search tool.
13 million already.
Yep. And the projections are, well, pretty striking. Potentially over 90 million U.S. adults using them as primary search tools by 2027.
Wow, okay. That's a rapid adoption curve.
Are there dominant players in this AI search space yet?
Right now, yes. ChatGPT and Gemini are capturing the vast majority of the traffic going to these kinds of AI search models. They're the clear frontrunners currently. And this is changing how people search, too. You mentioned the conversational aspect earlier.
Absolutely. Users are naturally adapting. They're asking more complex, nuanced questions in plain language, not just keyword strings. It's more like talking to an assistant.
Which makes sense if the tool is designed to understand and respond conversationally.
Precisely. And we're seeing this reflected in traffic data, too. Between 2022 and 2023, some traditional engines like Google, Bing, Yahoo saw some traffic dips.
Wow.
While newer, AI-focused engines like Brave Search, even TikTok's search function to some extent, show growth. It suggests users are actively trying out alternatives.
But let's keep perspective, right? Google and YouTube are still the absolute giants in terms of overall traffic volume.
Unquestionably, they are still the behemoths. Billions of searches. So this isn't about them disappearing overnight, but the trends are important signals of change.
Okay. So for a business, this means optimizing your website, and content isn't just about Google's algorithm anymore.
Not solely, no. You need to think about how these AI platforms ingest and process information. How does your content answer natural language, conversational queries?
And maybe thinking about having a presence or visibility on these other platforms, too.
Platform diversification might become more important, yes. It's about meeting users where they are, and increasingly, some might be starting their journey on an AI platform.
Which leads nicely into, well, how do you actually optimize for this new world? Is there, like, an AI SEO?
That's exactly the term people are starting to use, AI search optimization. It's about tailoring your content so AI platforms like ChatGPT or Gemini can understand it well and potentially use it.
So less about just keywords and more about meaning, context.
Exactly. It ties into adapting to this query intent evolution we mentioned. Your content needs to comprehensively answer the questions people are asking in the way they're asking them.
So longer, more detailed content, maybe? Or just structured differently?
It could be both. providing clear answers, addressing related questions, offering context, thinking about the whole conversation a user might have, not just the initial keyword.
And you think there's an advantage to getting on this early? An early adoption advantage?
I definitely think so. Building AI-first content strategies now, while the landscape is still forming, could give businesses a significant leg up as user behavior continues to shift.
What about those AI overviews specifically? Can you optimize to get featured in those summaries?
Yes, that's another crucial piece, optimizing for AIOs. And interestingly, it's not always just about being the absolute top-ranked traditional result.
Oh. So what does matter for getting cited in an AIO?
The AI seems to look for content that can serve as a reliable source. Content that directly answers the implicit or explicit question, addresses likely follow-up questions, provides context, rationale.
So depth and clarity are key.
Depth, clarity, authoritativeness, trustworthiness. Those signals seem very important. The AI needs to understand and trust your content to use it in a summary.
But wait, does this mean traditional SEO is dead? Should businesses just forget about keywords and links?
No, absolutely not. That's a critical point. Traditional SEO is still fundamental
Why, if the clicks are shifting?
because your content still needs to be discoverable and rank well enough in the traditional sense to even be considered as a potential source for an AI overview in the first place. SEO gets you in the game.
Okay. So SEO foundations are still vital for visibility, and then this AI optimization layer helps you get potentially featured in summaries or found by AI agents.
Precisely. They work together. So the actionable insight here is businesses need to start analyzing how their content currently appears or doesn't appear in AIOs.
Look at what sources are being cited.
Yes. See what they're doing well, and then start developing strategies specifically for AIOs alongside your continuing essential SEO work. It's a parallel effort.
Okay, shifting gears a bit. How can businesses leverage AI internally in their own marketing operations to navigate all this?
There are many ways. Marketing teams, for instance, can use AI-powered targeting and analysis tools, especially with traditional tracking signals becoming less reliable.
Like with cookie deprecation and privacy changes.
Exactly. AI can help analyze available data to continuously test campaign elements, learn what's resonating with audiences in this changing environment, and optimize targeting despite signal loss.
And what about agencies? Are they adopting AI?
Oh, definitely. There's widespread adoption of generative AI in advertising agencies. They're using it for efficiency drafting copy, creating image variations, but also for more sophisticated data analysis to drive campaign strategy.
But there are risks there too, right, with AI generating content?
Absolutely. It's crucial to have guardrails, processes to check for accuracy, avoid bias, ensure the AI output aligns with brand voice and values. You can't just let it run wild.
What about specific tools like Google's Performance Max? That uses a lot of AI, doesn't it?
It does. PMax is a good example of AI driving ad creation and campaign management. The big benefit is efficiency. It can save a lot of time and potentially cost by automating bidding, targeting, and creative combinations.
But I've heard some advertisers feel they lose control with PMax, less transparency.
That's the flip side, yes. The automation that provides efficiency can sometimes feel like a black box. Advertisers might have left granular control over exactly where ads show or which creative elements are used compared to traditional campaign types. It's a trade-off.
So to make the most of any of these AI tools, whether it's for targeting, creative, or campaign management, what's the underlying need for businesses?
Data. A strong data-driven culture is essential. AI thrives on data, but the quality and accessibility of that data are paramount.
Meaning clean data, integrated data.
All of the above. Businesses need to focus on improving data quality, maybe consolidating data from different silos, perhaps investing in things like customer data platforms, CDPs, to create a unified view of the customer. You need a solid data foundation.
And skills too, presumably. People need to know how to use these tools and interpret the data.
Hugely important. The lack of AI training and skills is often cited as a major barrier for businesses. Continuous education is vital.
So investing in training, workshops, just building that internal AI literacy?
Yes. Marketing and business professionals need ongoing education to keep up. The field is moving so fast. It's about building capability within the team to actually leverage these powerful tools effectively and responsibly.
And staying updated on the broader AI landscape too, the risks we mentioned.
Definitely. Businesses need to keep an eye on developments around brand safety in AI environments, potential for misinformation generated by AI, copyright concerns with AI content, It's an evolving space with both huge opportunities and potential pitfalls.
Okay, so key actions here sound like experiment with AI tools, but carefully. Really invest in your data infrastructure and your team's AI skills, and stay vigilant about the changing landscape and its risks.
That sums it up well. Be proactive, be educated, and be prepared.
Now, let's pivot to something slightly different but related. AI-powered search on a business's own website. How can that be an advantage?
Oh, this is a really powerful application. Think about the search bar on your own e-commerce site or company website.
Yeah, sometimes they're not great. You type something in and it doesn't understand what you mean.
Exactly. Basic keyword matching often fails. But AI-powered site search uses things like natural language processing, machine learning, semantic search.
Okay, break that down. What does that actually mean for the user?
It means the search engine understands the intent behind the query, not just the words. It understands synonyms, context, relationships between concepts, so it delivers much more relevant, accurate results.
Like it knows running shoes and sneakers and trainers might all mean the same thing in context.
Precisely. And it can go further, offering personalized results based on that user's past browsing history or preferences. It makes finding information much faster and less frustrating.
Better user experience, basically.
A significantly better user experience. And we've seen real results. Sitecore, for example, implemented AI-powered site search and saw a big jump in the number of relevant results returned and the click-through rate on those results.
So people were finding what they wanted more easily and clicking on it more often.
Yes. And the capabilities can extend beyond just finding products or pages. Think about indexing and searching within PDFs on your site, providing direct answers to questions typed into the search bar, offering smart recommendation widgets.
It sounds like it turns the site search from a basic utility into more of an intelligent assistant for the visitor.
That's a great way to put it. It can genuinely transform a casual browser who might otherwise get frustrated and leave into an engaged customer who finds what they need and potentially converts.
I remember reading a quote from a customer who implemented this, saying it drastically cut down on those undefined results or no results found pages.
Yes, reducing those zero-result searches is a huge win. It empowers the business to understand what users are trying to find and tailor the experience better.
So another clear, actionable insight. If you have a website, especially e-commerce, take a hard look at your current site search. Upgrading to an AI-powered solution could be a major competitive advantage.
Absolutely. It directly impacts user satisfaction and can drive conversions. It's a worthwhile investment to consider.
Okay, finally, let's zoom out a bit. How is generative AI, the tech behind things like ChatGPT, impacting the whole technology stack that supports search and online experiences?
Well, June AI is acting as an optimization layer across the stack. It helps organize and analyze the massive amounts of data involved much more quickly and efficiently.
So it's not just the search tool itself, but the systems behind the search tool.
Right. It adds an intelligent layer, improving the underlying data infrastructure, sometimes called a content lake or data lake, which in turn enables more sophisticated personalization, dynamic content generation like product descriptions that adapt.
Interesting. And I've heard the term array retrieval augmented generation. What's that about?
RAG is a key development. It basically combines generative AI's ability to create content with real-time information retrieval from external authoritative knowledge sources.
So instead of the AI just making things up based on its trading data, it can pull in current verified information.
Exactly. It grounds the AI's output in factual, up-to-date knowledge. This is crucial for enriching search results or generating accurate product descriptions, ensuring they have the right context and aren't just generic text.
And is this AI functionality being built into single platforms, or is it spread out?
We're seeing it become more distributed. Different components of the tech stack, the search engine, the personalization engine, the content management system, might have their own specialized AI capabilities.
Which gives businesses more flexibility, I suppose, to pick and choose the best tools.
Yes, more flexibility in building their e-commerce or online platforms using best-of-breed components that incorporate AI in different ways.
But with AI generating more content descriptions, maybe even articles, how do businesses ensure quality? How do you evaluate if the AI's output is actually any good?
That's critical. Evaluation needs to be multifaceted. You need quantitative measures, like engagement metrics are people clicking, spending time, converting.
Okay, the performance data.
Right. But also qualitative measures. Is the content readable? Is it clear? Does it sound like your brand? Does it avoid causing confusion or cognitive overload for the user? Sentiment analysis can play a role too.
So human oversight and judgment are still essential.
Absolutely essential. You need processes to ensure relevance, accuracy, ethical considerations, brand alignment. AI is a tool, not a complete replacement for human judgment and quality control.
And what about trust? How do you get users to trust AI-generated outputs?
Transparency helps. Maybe indicating when content is AI-assisted, providing explanations for recommendations where possible, allowing users to give feedback on the AI's output. Building that trust is key for long-term adoption.
Okay, so businesses need to think strategically about integrating Gen AI across their tech stack, not just for search, but for personalization and content too, while having strong processes for evaluating quality and maintaining trust.
Precisely. It's about leveraging the power while managing the risks and ensuring it serves the business and the customer effectively.
All right, let's try and wrap this up. It's clear AI is fundamentally changing online search as we know it. We're seeing a more fragmented market.
Right. Some decline in traditional organic traffic due to things like AI overviews.
And this significant rise of conversational AI platforms becoming primary search tools for many.
And all of this has really big implications for how businesses connect with customers online.
So sitting back and waiting isn't really an option, is it? Proactive adaptation seems key.
It's a necessity now, not a future maybe. Businesses need to be actively exploring and integrating AI tools in their marketing.
Optimizing their content for this new landscape, thinking about AIOs, conversational queries, AI platforms.
Investing in those data capabilities and, crucially, in AI education for their teams.
And looking seriously at upgrading their own site search with AI to improve that direct customer experience.
Exactly. It's a multi-pronged approach.
So as we close out, maybe a final thought for everyone listening. AI isn't slowing down. The pace of change is incredible. The businesses that will likely thrive in this new era of finding information are the ones who aren't just aware of these changes, but are actively experimenting, learning, and weaving AI into their core strategies.
It's about moving from understanding to action. So the question for you is, what are the first steps you will take to make sure your business stays relevant and competitive in this increasingly AI-driven search world?